Hey, well, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to edit the first paragraph of Cindy's novel. It's a biblical historical novel based around the character of Hannah from the Bible, and this is the opening paragraph. So Cindy has called it Seeing Anna's Wedding. That's just for me, that's just so I know what's going on. But it's useful for you as well as we read the paragraph because it might give you some clues as to what the paragraph is missing. Let's have a read together. Hannah couldn't take her eyes off the couple. Will anyone ever look at me with such love in their eyes? Will I ever prove myself enough to be worthy of such deep love? Sitting in the dark corner, body slumped in the shadows, Hannah's followed Anna's every move. Hannah struggled to smile as she watched the new couple dance. Wiping a silent tear off her cheek, Hannah shook her head. This day is about Anna and Nathaniel, not me. I am happy for Anna. I really am. Well, I'm mostly happy for her. So let's have a look. What have we got first? Well, we know it's a wedding from the note that Cindy has given us. But if we didn't have that note, we might not know actually what was going on. So we know that Hannah's feeling really miserable. We know that this couple, Anna and Nathaniel, are dancing. If we know that it's a wedding, actually the reader needs to see more of the wedding. So Hannah's emotional angst is contrasting with the normal sort of happiness that would go on with a wedding. But we're not seeing that really strong contrast. So I would go to here. Hannah couldn't take her eyes off the couple. And at this point, I would add something about what Hannah is seeing. Now, she says they have a really deep love. So we have to find a way for Hannah to recognize that really deep love in what she's seeing and experiencing around her. So perhaps Cindy could talk about the vibe of the room, the environment, the music, the lighting, the way everybody is sort of oohing and ahhing at this young, deeply in love couple. Or maybe it's the way Nathaniel and Anna are acting towards each other, or their posture, or the way maybe he's holding her in the dance, or perhaps they're very much in tune with each other. There's lots of options for how Cindy could actually demonstrate to the reader that these two are very much in love, everybody is happy, and then build the contrast with Hannah's misery, because clearly it is misery. Will anyone ever look at me with such love in her eyes? So all of this is Hannah's thoughts that are coming out of her head, and they're in italics, and that's a good way to put thoughts, make thoughts really clear in what you're writing. I would also add down here another italic section because clearly these are also Hannah's thoughts that she's thinking at that time. Okay, so let's keep going. Sitting in the dark corner, body slumped in the shadows, Hannah's followed Anna's every move. I presume Cindy's trying to say Hannah has followed Anna's every move. But I think that sentence, the construction could be a lot simpler and still keep all the same meanings. So I would take out that semicolon, put in a comma, and take out this. So we have sitting in the dark corner, body slumped in the shadows, Hannah followed Anna's every move. I would also want to say something to Cindy about maybe picking a different name for her secondary character. Hannah is the main character. We can't change that. It's in the Bible. It's already set. But if you start out with a paragraph where the two names are rhyming, it can just trip the reader up just a little bit, just so they go, oh, what? Rhyming names? That's a bit odd. And perhaps then they've got a little bit of distance from the narrative, which they don't need to have. So I'd consider changing Anna's name, or maybe just make it Anne or something. Anyway, then Hannah is struggling to smile as she watched the new couple dance. She wipes a silent tear off her cheek. Hannah shook her head. Yes, this day is about Nathaniel, comma, not me. I'm happy for Anna. And I would put a comma here instead of a full stop. I'm happy for Anna. I am. It sort of gives this sense of she's really trying to be happy. She really is. It's an intense, her thought process is intense, and she's trying to give the best that she can, even though it's really hard for her. At the end, I think this last sentence is probably overkill. It's very clear. She's not happy. She's trying to be happy. She's a little bit happy. She's not happy. So I don't think we really need that last bit. It's already been done for us. The reader can draw their own conclusions that, yeah, she's mostly happy. So I would get rid of that. Done. The other thing is I would get rid of is in this sentence, wiping a silent tear off her cheek, Hannah shook her head. And I'd put she shook her head because, we've already had Hannah's name once. twice, 3 times in the paragraph. We don't really need it a 4th time. So Cindy, that's the first paragraph of your novel. I would add context and vibe so that we know we have so that we have a really clear picture of the contrast of what's supposed to be a happy day versus Hannah's really negative emotions. And I think it's a good first paragraph in that the contrast sets up a good question as to why Hannah's so miserable, what's the backstory for that, and a conflict. You know, her feelings are clearly in tension with everything that's going on around her. So it's a good setup. Good to go.